Morning. Well, just to prove that I haven't been slacking in the figure department, I've done most of these this morning just sitting here doodling, and the brushes I used for these were these basically. This is number 12 Recab Sable Blend, quite a good brush, and this one, nice long hairs in these two brushes. I should use them more. Recab Sable Blend, number 10 and number 12. They seem rather smaller than the Kolinsky Sables that I bought cheaply. That's a number 12, number 14. That is 14, and this is a number 4. Now there's hardly any difference between that number 4 in the Kolinsky Sable, and this I'm sure it's the second, than that one, which is a number 10. So I don't know how they work out their numbering. But they're good brushes. What I try not to do now is to use the rigger for doing these. It's good. Well, I think it's good to use the largest brush you can, or you can get away with. That's why the Hake is such a brilliant brush. Right, what shall we do this morning? Well, maybe another woody scene. I don't know if I showed you these. These are my little tubey figures with the mannequin, just trying to get the proportions right. But once you've got the proportions of the body right, or approximately right, in your head, you don't have to refer to any reference material for it, you can start doodling these sort of figures, and if the proportions are right, then the figure looks all right, regardless if it's badly painted. But if it's out of proportion but well painted, it will always look bad. So keep practicing on these things. So I know most of us seem to neglect the figure. We go straight into the painting of the landscapes, the trees and the skies and stuff, and neglect the things that really make a landscape stand out, and that is a couple of figures. And my figures are very sketchy. I've really neglected it over the years, but I'm going to rectify that over the weeks and months to come. And I had my grandson, 9-year-old John Paul, sitting down here painting with one of my paint boxes yesterday. At 9, there's not a lot. They can only paint from imagination, well, not even from imagination, from stereotypes, but just instilling in him the actual joy of painting, not the objects of paint, the objects that you paint, but the actual joy of the process of slapping paint around on free paper, which is free to him. So here we are. There's my Cotman Romanson palette. We've got cadmium yellow, a bit messy from yesterday, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, I don't use much of that, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, which I don't use enough of, Payne's grey, a bit of hooker's green, and burnt sienna, which I use a lot of. But that's my personal palette. You don't have to use it. I was watching a demonstration for Joe's, Cheap Joe's, an American art store, which do sell a lot of art products, an own brand, and very good demonstration of figures, getting fresh. But the names of some of these colours were quite remarkable. Nothing like plain old yellow or plain old red. Oh no, we have all sorts of peculiar names for them, but lovely stuff. The nice nylon brushes he was using from Cheap Joe's. We haven't got a Cheap Joe's in the UK, so unless I go to America again, where I have a lot of family. So, bit of Fabriano. This is on the back of an old demo, which I don't like anymore. It was good for a demo, but I can't waste the other side of the paper. And what I do, I turn them over and I just paint some Payne's grey over the back, so that it doesn't exist anymore. Right, okay, so I'll just do a little bit of a sketch on this one, because I want to put a figure in, so we have to work out where we're going to put it. So I'll try and leave that area light, so we can have going into a sort of a wood path, puddles, sort of thing. And we'll just, so if I had my figure down over here somewhere, I can have a couple of them really, just to remind me where they're going. So that's all I want to do for that. Okay, I've got a cup of tea. It's a very dull day today, quite mild, very close. Thankfully, in the southeast we've had a lot of rain over the last day, and our gardens will start to look green rather than sunburnt. Okay, so I've got the hake. I'll give the paper a wet, and we'll see what we can make of a woody scene. I know Stephen Cronin loves doing the woody scenes, and they seem to be, forgive the pun, but evergreen, meaning always popular, provided they come off. Okay, so that's that. So we put some warmer colours in there, bit of sienna, maybe a bit of burnt sienna as well. Don't want to do too much sky because most of it's going to be covered up. But we need a background of sky, so let's put a bit of that in. I don't really like just blue skies. So we just put some of that in there. Okay, that'll do. We can put a bit of blue in. Just a hint. Right, now some alizarin crimson and some blue. Bit of sienna in there. All the hairs out there. I'm going to change the hake soon. It's had its day, it's been very good, it's been a nice experience working with it, but it's once they start losing the hairs, not much you can do about it. Sort of cool blues in the background. And we'll put in some nice sienna. Just a start. Oh, I've gone off my figure. Oh, never mind. Right, that's some nice cake yellow. Bit of sienna in there. My wrist hurts today after the bike ride yesterday. Some on the other side, catching a bit of light here. Bit of burnt under, I think. And light red. Okay. The sienna. Just preliminary washes on here. I don't want too much of the sparkle showing. Okay, let's just reclip the paper. Keep it nice and flat. An assortment of clips. Okay, let's put in some bit of dark, bit of nice umbery dark, and there plenty of blue. I'm going to etch out some nice trunks in there. Keeping one side just a bit subordinate. warm in there. Some in here. Bit of red. It's warming up as we're coming into the nearer areas. Right, let's scrape out a few. Don't overdo this right, my hand. Just using a fingernail just to put some distant Ron Ransom was a great lover of doing this. You can use a plastic card if you bite your nails. Bite your tools. Okay, right, let's go. I'll give that a dry now. So take your headphones off and mute your sound. Go. Right, let's put in some bluey trees in the background, so a bit of blue, bit of umber. Don't want the brush too wet with this, otherwise it'll just diffuse all over the place. Now, don't be scared about this because it all dries a lot lighter than when you first put it on. Let's see where the hake comes into its own, you know, it's just doing sort of semi-straight edges. And my blue as we go into the distance. Not too many, but a few. What you can also do is just to sort of put some detail on the trunks, because you get that sort of furry stuff with ivy and, I don't know, stuff growing up in the trees. Using the trees as a support. Okay, so we've got some mystery going on there. Okay, that's all filled in, quite a bit of that. So we'll put in a bit of this and a bit of that. So a bit of hookers. Just dab in the back of the hake to get some grassy looking things. I might put some reflection in that to show a bit of a bit of water, as I said I would do, but I forgot. But I'll leave that till later because I want to put in, I want to put in some thicker trees. So I'm just going to stay with that burnt umber and the grey, I mean the blue and the burnt umber. So let's just get some of these in here. Well, I'll just paint some of these here first. I'll put some leaves on. Just don't forget to taper your trees. Some blue ones in there. Crossing over there. We'll do those furry bits, I think. More blue in there. All adds a little bit of mystery to the trees, to the eerie quality of woody scenes. Right, that's a bit of dry brush for this, but blue. Burnt umber makes a lovely grey with the ultramarine. Okay, well let's put in some of these blues in there, just to justify having all those twiggy bits. Okay, that'll do. Let's get some trunks in the other side here. Let's just put that in there. Just having fun with the hake time. All very impressionist. We can put some bury the bottoms of the trunks there. Let's just get that in a bit heavy there. shadow. Okay, now we'll reflect a bit of that background. Okay, a little bit different. Move to here. Okay, I think I just need a little bit more there. Just making that canopy. Right, let's get in some nice darkish greens. Bit of hookers, bit of ultramarine, bit of cadillo. Let's get some reflections in there, so nice, good and dark. Right, let's have a go at those figures. So I'll use this recap. REKAB. I've got them off eBay. So we'll have a bit of a burnt umber tip. Right. The figure's too small now. So we've been practicing some a bit red. Some nice jeans. And let's put the man in, and we'll have him with a nice bit of bluey. Let the paint run. Okay, they look quite large, don't they? But that's okay, because I've been practicing them. Right, it's all very sombre, isn't it? Right, I'm going to dry that off, and I'm going to put in some detail on the trunks. So for this I'm going to smash up the hake somewhat, and I need another clean dry cloth, I think, to put that on there to air. Hold my cloth. These linen old sheets are not really suitable. You want something like tea toweling, a good tea towel or towel even, but it's got to be cotton, of course. Now I'm going to use sienna. I'm just using neat paint here, a bit of Payne's grey. Sienna. Because it's quite neat paint, it will show. toes over the top there. I'll put a few rigor marks in there or something. I hope that shows. Sure it will, because it's neat, it's almost tube consistency now. Okay, good. Darker leaves in there. The autumn leaves. Okay. Right, we need some rigor work, well, some fine detail in there for those branches. Just to justify putting all those dogs on, we've got to have some branches to them. Okay. I've seen one Manson do this. He painted sort of an oak tree in the Wye Valley, and he had all this ivy sticking out from the trees with all these little twigs that you see that hadn't been sort of sheared off. All low down. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to let that go. I can't do much more than that. I quite like my little figures there. I suppose I've got to take out though. Just that little bit there, don't like that. Just move it. That's better. Okay, we'll put it in a mount and we'll have a look and see. I think dark painting, light mount. Okay, well there we are. So, as I say, another one bites the dust. Different to anything I've done before, but on the theme. Okay, so that'll do. We've got quite a bit of light coming through the middle of that now. Let's just bring the camera around and sign you in. Okay, woody glade. I think my figures are all the better for being larger than usual. Must be because I'm getting a bit more confident in the freedom of expressing figures with the proportions perhaps better than they have been before. So I'm going back to learning my figures and doing some more painting of them. I might paint another demo later. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Goodbye.